These are, I knew that since the question of sea level rise and the displacement related with that will be brought up. These are other areas where things are happening in a very large scale, which are normally not talked about. And also, there were controversies created. If you remember the figures of IPCC and the kind of things that was created. These are realities, these are faces of this. These are Himalayan streams on which people depend for drinking water and livelihood. And the kind of thing that has happened which is contributing to this. I'll go quickly because I have very little time. It's not only question of drinking water, a lot of these small mountain streams also provide huge number of livelihoods. And these are real places, real abundant water mills, and really forced out people from those livelihoods and those places. These are in the western Himalayan region of India. I'll just go through this. Pictures speak for themselves. I don't need to explain. And these are not hundreds, not thousands, but people in hundreds of thousands who have lost their livelihoods, apart from large sources of drinking water. This is already been referred to. Though we know about the Sundarbans in India and the kind of climate refuges they have created, these kind of things have not been talked about very much. In India, we have more than 11 million coastal and marine fishes. 11 million. And there is a creeping disaster which is happening. It's not large-scale cyclones which are happening now too often. Those disasters are visible. But this kind of creeping disasters are happening. The incomes, the livelihood, these are threatened to a great extent. And one point I need to emphasize very clearly, that we have somehow accepted some kind of climate events and the migrants and the forced migration. But large number of such people have not been recognized for what they are. They are climate refugees or climate migrants. And there is a need to really recognize and then assist. And these are some figures many of you are familiar with. The other large impact is in India at least, and also in South Asia, is from monsoon, the northwest monsoon. And this is a simulation, this is a data done by Indian Meteorological Department, that in the last 100 years, there is tremendous change already. It's not sometime in the next decade. It's there of the last 100 years data and what kind of changes have happened in the Indian monsoon. These are some of the figures which other countries have already been talked about. And this also you probably are familiar with, that from around 1400 people per 100,000 who were impacted by extreme events, it has gone up to 3,500 plus in a very short time. And this is very interesting that none of the countries which have created this are in the most vulnerable list. And all of the countries which are, or most of the countries which have no contribution to creating this are in the list. Thank you very much.